Welcome back. Now, today, SABC News will launch its social responsibility campaign, and it's called the #CoverUp campaign. And this is against a backdrop of government's vaccination rollout program, which comes at the time when the country is experiencing a rise in the number of positive COVID-19 infections. With some provinces already experiencing a third wave, the campaign seeks to play a role in promoting responsible lifestyles during this pandemic. And in the next 3 weeks, SABC News will actively participate in the promotion of wearing of masks in the #CoverUp campaign using radio, television and digital platforms and in all of the official languages, including sign language. So let's just quickly take a look at what this campaign will be about.
Hello South Africa, my name is Wandile Landela from Davidson Ekurhuleni. I mask up and sanitize so that my friends, family and myself stay protected at all times. I'd like to take this moment to advise you to do the same. #CoverUp.
So, sneak preview for you there. But let's check in now with two of our reporters who have been working throughout this COVID-19 pandemic and who have both had their lives touched by COVID-19. And joining us now, Ulrich Hendricks and Lerato Fekisi. Both are COVID survivors and fully behind this campaign. So Ulrich and Lerato, good morning to you. It's over to you guys. Let me start with you, Ulrich. First, I would imagine that more than most, you would understand the importance of staying safe. But what has your experience been with COVID?
Hi, good morning, Sakina and Lerato, and good morning, live viewers. Well, last year, just at the start of the pandemic, I contracted COVID-19. We think it happened here where I am at the moment at Uppington, because by then there weren't any community transmissions. And I had met 2 Germans here in Uppington, so about a week later I was diagnosed with COVID-19. And then luckily the symptoms and everything was mild, but it was very concerning for me, especially to make sure that I do not spread this to other people, but also to my immediate family. So I support this initiative and this campaign to mask up, because this is one of 3 weapons we have against this pandemic. To cover up, to make sure that we social distance and sanitize, so that at the end of the day, we do not spread it further, especially with rising numbers in the Northern Cape and elsewhere in the country at the moment. The Northern Cape, of course, reporting record numbers 3 times this past week, for example. And various districts in this province already really hotspots where the transmissions by 100,000 is extremely high. So a lot of people may be relaxed as lockdown levels went down. But I think it's very important that people should remember that we need to stop the spread of this of COVID-19 and to mask up, sanitize and to keep our distance.
Ulrich, has this in any way changed the way you tackle your job, especially now with the rising numbers of COVID-19 positive cases in the Northern Cape?
Well, definitely. We try by far not to go into people's houses, especially those where you have confirmed COVID-19 cases. But also in terms of how we do jobs, we normally in the past year or so we put a mic stand on and social distance, sort of screen the questions to the person that you're interviewing, but also to try and to minimize contact with other people as well. To do online interviews, for example, videos sent via WhatsApp. I've spoken to a number of sources where, some hotspot areas where we probably couldn't have gone to, where we basically ask locals to take videos for us, and then you sort of give them a crash course on how to do camera work. And then we sort of compile our stories like that. It's a bit limiting in terms of the journalism we want to do, but it's what we have to do within this COVID-19 pandemic.
You say, Ulrich, we have to adapt to the situation at hand. Lerato, Fekisi, you, of course, also have had to deal with COVID because you were COVID positive last year. One of the questions that, of course, comes to mind readily is protecting those closest to you, your family, your loved ones, and your colleagues when you're on assignment and you are still every day going out on these assignments, possibly at risk of being reinfected. So speak to us about how this process and the journey has been for you.
I think it's been really life-changing for me, Sakina, especially considering that when I tested positive, my entire family actually got COVID-19, myself, my husband, and also our helper. All of us were really quarantined at the same time, and I think that entire experience was so life-changing. COVID-19 is really no joke. I think it was, of all my life where I have had challenges in my health, that was the most testing time because I'm such a fit and energetic person, but for the first time now, for entire 2 weeks, I really felt like I really couldn't do anything. I felt weak every single day. Eating was a struggle. My appetite was a struggle. My muscles were sore every single day. And I think were it not for the help of my husband and also our help, I really think I wouldn't have made it because it really isn't a really easy disease to go through. But more than anything else, Sakina, I think it really was also a learning curve for me because both my parents have got comorbidities, and it really taught me the importance to make sure that even though I had recovered, I also need to make sure that I also protect them. So you would laugh, but till this very day, Sakina, I don't go see my parents unless I'm wearing a mask. And even at home, when I do go see my parents, we're also social distancing. So within my life and my social space also, it's helped me to adapt. It also made me to realize what role I really have to play in making sure that I protect my loved ones. And then also at work, like Ulrich was saying, that it's totally changed how we do journalism. Normally journalism is such an intimate thing where we get to be close to the people that we're covering the story with, but now, like Ulrich was saying, we have to have mic stand, we have to social distance. And I think what has really been important for me as a journalist, because our mandate as the national broadcaster is to inform, to educate and inspire. And I think it would be wrong for us if when we go out to stories, we don't say to the people that we're interviewing, please can you wear a mask? Because sometimes, Sakina, when we do go on stories, people, like Ulrich was saying, are really very much relaxed. So you have to say, as the journalist, as the one who's there to educate them, you know what, please put on your mask, please don't come too close to me, please stand at a distance. Even when we cover stories which need us to be intimate, to hold hands and to hug and to reassure, we can't do that anymore, and we have to be the ones that set the standard and set the example even when we go out on stories. And obviously, like you can see, as early as when we start, we have to wear a mask all the time, because I find that when we set the example, when we set the bar how things must be done, then the people who are interviewing as well then follow course as well.
And Lerato, you know, having been COVID positive, obviously you are more in tune, more keenly aware of the protocols that need to be adhered to. But what is your experience on the ground? Do you find that people are more lackadaisical about it, or do they actually, in the main, care about adhering to these protocols?
Unfortunately, Sakina, I don't know whether it is, I actually don't know what it is actually, but I find that people on the ground are very, very much relaxed. I think there are talks of a third wave, but I don't know, seems to be a certain level of just like relaxation from people, where people don't really see the importance of having to wear a mask. I don't know how many times just in the past 2 weeks I was covering stories that I had to tell people myself, please could you rather wear a mask, or please could you not come so close to me. So people generally on the ground are relaxed. There is this blasé that COVID-19, I think people are just like, you know what, we've survived the second wave, and if we can survive that, we can survive anything. And although there are talks of a third wave, but people are really relaxed. People don't social distance, people stand next to each other, people don't wear their mask, and it really is concerning, especially when you consider someone who experienced COVID-19 under the second wave and how tough that was on my body. I can't even begin to imagine how tough the third wave is going to be, and I think people must really take it seriously, that it really isn't a joke, it really isn't something to play play about. We can't relax. If anything, now this is the time where we have to have our guard up. We have to wear our masks. We have to social distance. We have to make sure that we have enough ventilation in enclosed areas, and also really commit to the COVID-19 lockdown regulations, because in the end we have to make sure that we safeguard ourselves and also our loved ones.
And just a final word, Ulrich, in the Northern Cape, where the numbers are high, second highest to Gauteng at the moment. Let's talk about your final message to the people in the Northern Cape and countrywide.
Well, Sakina, it's basic. We've been practicing this for more than a year now. It's basically, let's cover up, let's social distance, and let's sanitize or wash our hands as much as possible. Because that's the only way that we're going to curb or arrest the third wave, which is already in full swing. Like we were talking about earlier, the numbers here in the Northern Cape and in every district is quite high. So we're already getting to the third wave. A lot of people are going to get sick. A lot of people are going to die. We need to, in the absence of or as the vaccination program heats up, we still need to make sure that we adhere to those three weapons that we have against the pandemic, to make sure that we are not infected, and if we are infected, that we do not infect others. Masking up, but you know, with glasses, people with glasses and mask always the foaming up. But yeah, definitely that is the main issue that this campaign is also wanting to drive. That is the only weapons we have against COVID-19, and those weapons we have to use.
Thank you so much, our reporters, for talking to us more about SABC's hashtag cover-up campaign. Lerato, Fekisi and Ulrich Hendricks there. We're also calling on all South Africans to please get involved in this program. And you can send us short video clips of your voice notes via our social media pages, telling us what you're doing to stay safe. And we will, of course, share some of those clips with everybody else here on SABC on our various news platforms, so as to encourage the entire nation to actually adhere to these safety protocols. All right, let's take a quick break before we get to headline news.
Hello South Africa, my name is Wandile Landela from Davidson, Ekurhuleni. I mask up and sanitize so that my friends, family and myself stay protected at all times. I'd like to take this moment to advise you to do the same. Hashtag cover up.